Millennial Falcon, thank you very much for the good luck. With that said, hope you're doing well. Did I explain how the battle and the reset sets your seed? No, I kind of mumbled and had about the vibe of how long I was going to need to take to explain it. So I'll explain it right now while we wait for the intro to play through. All right, so the way that your initial seed for both NPC movement and for encounters is decided in Final Fantasy VI is a single byte in save RAM. Every time that you see the load game, new game screen, it's incremented. One gets added to it. Every time that you go into a game, start a new game, or load a save game, 13 gets added to it. And right as soon as it gets added, it gets persisted back. So in order to set up a save that we would use for a run like this, there's a spreadsheet that we use because it's just a matter of you can know with perfect knowledge what your seed is based off of 3 consecutive encounters after resets on a 0 threat save. So you get into a fight, you save the game immediately after leaving the fight without taking any steps. So now you've got a 0 threat save. You just count how many steps you take across 3 resets. That tells you what seed you're on, and if you know your target seed, the spreadsheet also tells you reset from the world map this number of times, and then reset from the save screen this number of times, and you're good to go. Is 13 meaningful, or is it just arbitrary? It's a prime number, which is I think perfectly cyclic in Integers mod 256. I think that's true. I'm pretty sure it's cyclic in Integers mod 256. So I think that you end up through 13, which, mind you, a reset is going to get you to 14, but let's forget that. I think that 13 touches every integer mod 256, and that's probably why they chose it. Shoot. You first found my streams when I was doing a bunch of Ruby stuff. Hell yeah. I had to come to terms with the unfortunate realization that the majority of people on Twitch aren't all that interested in watching somebody hack through a problem in Ruby, which is a bummer, but It just means that when I want to hang out with people while I'm working on something, I just do that in Discord. Sufficiently advanced speedruns are indistinguishable from data security talks. So Pyroclastic, if you haven't seen Dwango's talk, he's given it at... He gave it at ThoughtCon. I think he gave the same talk at DEF CON. I know he's given it at a couple other conferences about using tassing as a gateway drug to InfoSec. You can find it. There are recordings of him giving the talk. It's excellent. It's a very, very good talk. And I suspect it would resonate with you given that remark. This is why you don't use those techniques unless you know you're in a fully sandboxed environment. Yes, however, one of the things that I think is... So, I agree with you, Prof. Ness. This is not a no. This is a yes and. I think that is insight number one that you get when you're looking at whether it's speedrunning or tassing. You know, anything where we're talking about a relatively safe environment in which to do binary exploitation. Because that's all that we're doing here. Is binary exploitation. The payload looks different from, you know, if I had hacked together a Perl script that generated some shellcode, but that's still what we're doing. But the second thing, and I think the more interesting insight, is what led to the decisions being made that made it so that we end up in a situation where these exploits can exist. So I guarantee none of the people who worked on this game were dumb. Miniman, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. First run of the day, parked car. You're making a joke, but I spent right up until basically now recording stuff for a tutorial. So yes, in fact, first run of the day. Welcome in. Yeah, some of the choices might have been a mistake, but the way that you arrive at this sort of code, the sort of code where the exploits that we're dealing with are possible, usually it's because of design constraints. Learning to recognize that and learning to try and figure out, all right, where else might I find design constraints like this? It's a superpower. It moves you out of these chumps didn't know how to program a dang video game into, oh yeah, this is where you might also encounter this class of bug. Super useful for glitch hunting in other games. Super useful for the way that you think about information security in other domains. Uno Squid, it's been a bit. Thank you very much for 10 months. I hope you're doing well, friend. X10 Power, good to see you. 21 Gay Emus, hope you're doing great today. Yeah, I mean, that's another point that's extremely worth making. This game, the things that you are able to get this game to do without it crashing is wild. This game is shockingly resilient. Minimap, you're here at the beginning of a run, and I know that you're mostly just asking me, you know, how's it going? But I want you to know that I'm so excited for you to see what Final Fantasy VI No Sketch Japanese RTA looks like. Because you might notice that and I'm going to tell you right now, pretty bad PB is 30 minutes. And I know that you were talking about maybe an hour and a half is a little bit too long for a speedrun for you. Can I interest you in 30 minutes? And because I know a bunch of people who just came in from the raid are familiar with the North American run, this is on the back of a Japan-only glitch. So what's really fun is that the North American and Japanese runs are fully divergent at this point. Like they're the same modulo having to do the window color menu. They are the same only up until this fight that I'm about to do right here. And that's it. Also, because during the tutorial, I was asked about the equipping of the potion. Oh yeah, for anybody who isn't familiar, Japan has a glitch called the Equip Anything glitch. Technically, North America has it as well, but they fix it by not giving us access to the 256th inventory slot. Not by fixing the business logic, but by giving us one fewer inventory slots, which is very funny to me. Right as soon as I have lock, I'm going to walk downward and I'm going to open the menu, and right then and there is when you're going to see me equip the potion. I forget who it was who asked about when I do that, but yeah, it's coming up like right after this cutscene. So yeah, I'm going to be stapling a potion to Locke's hand. It's a secret that'll help us later. That's what I'm going to give you. I'm not going to tell anybody what you're looking for. Pay attention. You'll know it. You'll know it when you see it. Also, for speedrun enjoyers, you might be noticing there's so little dialogue in this run that it's not worth shortening people's names, which I think is very funny. It's great. Sonic 1 through Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 2 in particular, did a lot of data poking back in the day. You can tell that the game, most of its levels in 1-player or 2-player, with or without water, changed any character. Might be sad, but it runs, yeah. Sonic 3 and Knuckles tech involves spawning the second boss 3 to 6 times to tell the game you're in Sonic & Knuckles standalone, then resetting to skip half the game. That's wild! Amazing. Something is off about these text boxes? No, they're normal. They're regular. Yeah, Elegant Fugue. So this is actually required. The colors that are put into these text boxes are part of an exploit. Alright, so coming up, this is where you equip the potion to Locke. And it's done. It's funny to watch people practice Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because the pace that the Eggmen are spawned in has a perfect comedic timing to make you think that they're done, and then they keep on hitting you with one more each time that you think that it's over. That's so funny. I've never seen this, and I have to check out that run now. Rude. Come on. Huh? Wait. Why didn't you have the shield equipped? Because I'm a doofus is why. All right, that's fine. So this is not a PB, but we are I'm gonna show y'all the fun shit that happens. We just need to get into a fight and get a quick game over. I did my menu in the wrong order. Supposed to do lock first so that you can guarantee the shield. Somehow, with really good luck, this could still PB. Oh my gosh. With really, really good luck, this can still PB. Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, exactly. I'm used to stealing clocks in Final Fantasy VI runs. This is basically the same. You had to go let your dog in my Texas squares now? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. It's normal. It's regular. Yeah, it's cubism. That's right. Yeah, gotta be good stuff in that potion if when somebody hits you with it, you start seeing time. That looked good. So everything that's happening while you're looking at a black screen is me having to do some movement blind. And now I'm just holding X waiting for the menu to come up. When the menu comes up, that means it's time for the next bit of movement. There's three pieces of movement that are quite hard, but most of them are just about free. There we go. So that was one of the hard ones. I know that we got it because I'm holding down the menu button. The menu's not coming up, which means I am zipping right now. Video games are so cool. Block is just floating there? That's true. Oh my god. Spear, knife, shield, armor. Dagger goes. Armor goes. One hat goes. We have potions? Potions go. My Japanese is pretty weak. So I can read everything on screen. Menus I can read. Kanji I'm mostly a no on. No. Go. This is the buckler. No, berry ring. And buckler is there. And it is hat, spear, sniper eye, berry bomb. Digital Basic, how's it going? Hey everybody, you should be following my friend Digital Basic. They are rad. Please get out of my way. I need to go somewhere. Cool. PB? Yeah, by like almost 40 seconds. Yeah, video games are cool. So now we're going to sit here. We're going to enjoy the credits. And then I'm going to do another run. What happened to that clown? I don't know. Circus? You like the part with the clocks? Yeah, I think the part where it's time, really good. You like the part where Locke wears a raft? Me too, that's one of my favorite parts. Yeah, the Moogles in the credits are delightful. So in summary, 1, get out of Narsh normally. Yep. 2, last item slot, equip glitch to put a potion on lock and punch Terra with the potion specifically. Yes, and that's why you need to replace the weapon with a mithril shield. 3, leader camera swap into Narsh blind zip. Yep. So you buy 2 tents, that's required, and then the smoke bomb. And then, yep, you do a bunch of movement to escape Narsh. And then, so the map placement is because I want to be as, I want to have the encounter that I get as late as possible. So I want it to be on the last possible desert tile. And then moving the items around, that is also part of the exploit that leads to us being able to jump to credits, yeah. So the leader swap part at the very end that you saw me do makes it so that there is an entity that I can interact with where I'm standing if I move 1 tile to the left and then I turn around to the right while holding A. So you are, with those items that I put in slots 16, 17, 18, and 19, that is setting up, as I understand it. So I'm not the person who understands the intricacies of the scripting engine in this game. So I am giving you my best understanding. But this is setting up events in the scripting engine. So we get the scripting engine to start chewing through our inventory, at which point we've set up items in such a way that it says, hey, trigger credits now, we win. You can see the same sort of thing happen with the 52 game over glitch. That one depends on some window colors, and also it cares about your GP. And there's some item placements that matter. But the payload there is different because the way that you're achieving execution is different. So I don't know where the colors come in. They are required for the final exploit to work. The one what turns Lock into a raft, as pictured. Specifically, those menu colors need to exist on a save that you set on save slot 3 after setting those items up. So you get the menu colors set, you set up your items, you save in save slot 3, and in fact, you can't equip Lock until you've made that save in save slot 3, otherwise the whole exploit fails. But yeah, it's similar enough to 52 Game Over that I understand the broad strokes, but I am not one of the people who has a deep understanding of the scripting engine in Final Fantasy VI. I imagine that Eddie probably has really comprehensive notes somewhere on this. Mr. Bing, how's it going? Yeah, this is stuff that requires equip anything, so North America is safe. Would you be able to do this on a version of the ROM where somebody took out the last slot protection? If somebody made it so that you could put stuff in slot 256, in the 256 slot, in slot 255, equip anything would work. Whether changes internal to the game would make it so that these specific glitches don't work, I couldn't tell you. I know that Miriam, who person who did like the Mega Man X practice cart, really fucking smart SNES ROM hacker, has looked at Final Fantasy VI and identified that the same business logic that enables equip anything is present in North America, and it's just we don't have slot number 256. It's been triggered in North America, really? Oh, interesting. You believe a few streams back somebody mentioned that using other glitches you can put items in 256 and therefore trigger equip anything. I don't remember that, but I mean, obviously, that must be true, since if Nirm says something is true about Final Fantasy VI, I believe it, unhesitatingly. Just like I believe in Moogles floating over a waterfall. Moogles can't fly? Au contraire. Their wings are too small? You just saw video evidence that they were flying. This just in, Wexel has a lot of clips. You know, Nir? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Prof. Ness. Final Fantasy VI was definitely demo scene adjacent for the credits. Even 5 did some neat tricks. Yeah, absolutely true. Ash, welcome back. Thank you for the congrats. Yeah, somehow it's a PB. This one's not going to live very long. Kindest, welcome in. Thank you for the GG. Super Retro Heart, how's it going? Welcome in. There's another run coming up after this for everybody who's just showing up. Yeah, Prof. Ness, I also assumed that it referred to localization, and it could well be that they brought somebody on to pre-plan for localization prior to even breaking ground on this game. Especially given that famously Final Fantasy V was a rough time localizing. There's a write-up somewhere about the really rough time that the RPG-E hack had, making it so that Latin text worked and fit. The text subsystem essentially had to be completely rewritten for the fan hack. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Squaresoft probably ran into the same problem. Which is why they ended up with the potential situation where they were going to have Final Fantasy V and VI ready to release in North America very close together, leading to them scrapping 5. Raft and Kutan? I can't think of a better pairing. Why did Terra revert to Moogle? Weirdness with the last exploit that you do. She wasn't Moogle, she was invisible.